Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me for today's blog. If today's blog has a title, the title has to be Suck It Up. And we have Vicki to thank for that. Vicki made me this amazing t-shirt, and as I'm sure you can see, it has a pink kettlebell, or at least an outline of a pink kettlebell with the crown, but it also says on it very clearly, Suck It Up. Apparently, I used to say that a lot, and I haven't been saying it as much recently, but my life has taken a real turn in how I feel about fitness and about pushing ourselves, and it's all happened in the last couple of weeks, and I really want to share this with you. What it's about, really, it all comes back to Shay. Lots of things all come back to Shay. But you know, when I first started training her, and we were heading towards that first finale and then the second one, she trained like a maniac. And there were lots and lots of times where we were both hungry and tired, and I really wanted to go home and take a nap, and I just had to suck it up. Because, you know, if she was going to keep training, I couldn't leave. So I'd keep going. And that's where I first really got the concept that even when you are exhausted, usually there's still some gas left in the tank. Now, all of this, of course, comes with that caveat that I always attach to everything, which is push yourself, but don't be stupid about it. So please don't take the spirit of this blog and go out there and beat yourself to death with your next workout, but do push yourself a little harder. So fast forward a few months, and now Shay and I are training to do, some more like distance running, working up towards some longer races. And what that culminated with was the 5-mile run that I did with Shay and some of the Subway crew and with Mario from New York. And that was Friday 2 weeks ago. And it was a 5-mile run through Central Park, and it was beautiful. And afterwards, everyone kept asking me, how'd Shay do? How did Shay do? Well, she did great. And she did great because even though she could hardly breathe because of her cold-induced asthma, and it was chilly that morning and it had been wet on and off, she sucked it up and she just kept going. And she met her pace goals, and we finished in the time that we had trained to finish in, and it was amazing. And I knew from about the end of the first mile that she could hardly breathe. And when you can't breathe when you're running, your muscles are screaming, it's harder to keep your energy to get up and down the little hills in Central Park. And she sucked it up, and she never once complained. She stuck with it, and she finished really strong. Now, the next person who sucked it up that day was Mario. Mario had never run a race before, not even a 5K, and we're out there doing 5 miles. He had no idea if he could do it, but he just went out there and thought, you know what, I'm just going to try. And what do you know, Mario actually could do a 10K and in much better time than we did it that day, because the guy is young and he's really, really fit. Props to you, Mario. You rocked it that day. But that's another example of somebody heading out there and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to try and see what happens. And I find that really inspirational. Now, my next real push towards where I'm at today came with my own race on Sunday with the marathon. And I got to mile 23, which is a long, gradual uphill climb up into Manhattan back towards Central Park. And I can't tell you how many times in that mile I wanted to stop. I mean, really, 23 miles in and it's all uphill? That's just evil. And I wanted to stop, and I wanted to rest, and I wanted to walk slower. And I thought, suck it up. It's not going to kill you. You've got a couple miles to go. You made it 23 miles. What, are you going to stop now? Of course not. So I sucked it up and I kept going, and I was so proud of myself when I got to mile 24 and 25 and 26, and then there's just a couple hundred yards to go. And as much as even at that point I was like, wow, I am really done, I finished at a dead sprint because I knew that for myself I would be so proud if I did, because like I said, usually, unless you're already horizontal, there's usually still a little gas in the tank. Now, that whole theme continued through the week. We had that great LiveFit road trip, and then we get to Philadelphia and we do this group workout. And here are these 8 wonderful people, most of whom have never done any kind of workout with me before other than just little bits in their homes earlier that week. And they've been doing LiveFit a long time. You guys grabbed your kettlebells and we hit it hard for an hour. And at the end of that, several of you said, wow, I thought I pushed myself at home, but gee, I really went to a whole new level with you here, me pushing them in person. And again, that's that motivation of when you think you're pushing yourself really hard, maybe you can push a little harder. Maybe there's a little bit more. And then again on Sunday morning, there we were, cardio challenge, Rocky Steps. I hope you've all seen the video because it's really, really cool. We had so much fun doing it. And again afterwards, several people said, wow, I can't believe how much harder that was than when I do the cardio challenges by myself. So if you're part of LiveFit, or if you're new to LiveFit and you're out there and you're doing this on your own, push, really push. And when you think you're done, seriously guys, suck it up. You've got a little bit more energy.